Hello everyone and welcome back to Manners on the Go. In today's episode, we're exploring an intriguing topic, hair etiquette. And guess what? We have a guest. To kick things off, I'd like to share a story that highlights just how impactful our hair can be in our relationships and social interactions. Imagine a young couple who seemed to have a strong bond. However, they began experiencing some tension. The wife noticed that her husband would often turn away from her at night, which she found unusual and concerning. She started to wonder if he was hiding something from her, perhaps even cheating. After some time, the truth finally came out. The husband confessed that it wasn't infidelity that was causing him to turn away. Rather, it was the unpleasant smell coming from his wife's hair. This revelation opened up a dialogue about personal grooming and care that they had never addressed before. The story serves as a reminder of how important hair etiquette can be, not just for our own self-esteem, but also for how we connect with others around us. Today, we'll explore various aspects of hair etiquette, from care and maintenance to cultural significance and social interaction. Let's welcome our guest, Miss Biola.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
The first thing I saw was the hair. And I was like, of all days, I'm wearing it synthetic.
Well, it's a protective style anyway.
Thank you,
So
and we'll
that's
talk
fine.
more about that. Biola Oluyide is a versatile entrepreneur with over 15 years of experience in customer service and business operations. As co-founder of Sapphire Trust Limited, Biola leverages her business acumen to offer consultant services in co-working, business support, and customer service. The company also manufactures natural hair care products. Now I see why the hair is like this. Integrating our dual areas of expertise. In 2015, Abiola's personal hair care challenges led her to create a popular shea butter souffle cream. This initial success spurred the expansion of our product line to include various hair care items such as black soap, hair growth oil, shampoo, among other products, hair tools and accessories, demonstrating our keen ability to identify market needs and develop successful products. Abiola's unique blend of experience in both customer service consulting and hair care product development positions her as a renowned figure in these industries. Her expertise in understanding customer needs, coupled with her strategic business acumen, makes her a valuable asset in both product development and customer service excellence. Abiola is happily married with 2 amazing boys. You don't have girls, so who are you going to practice this hair thing with? Welcome, Abiola, to the set of Manners on the Go.
Thank you.
You know, I stumbled on hair etiquette, and before now, I just didn't know there was any etiquette attached to hair. But I haven't stumbled on that story that I shared. It occurred to me that this is a conversation that we must have.
Definitely.
So I'm glad to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
To our guests, please stay back and listen to us. This is one thing you don't want to miss.
Manners on the Go.
Welcome again, Miss Biola.
Thank you.
So let's dig right in. What does hair etiquette mean to you?
Wow. Etiquette to me just means the social rules, norms, practices of hair care, styling and presentation of one's own hair or that of others. That's just a simple. Yeah.
Simple. Very well. So can you share some common misconceptions about hair etiquette?
Thank you. I love that question. Let's dive right in. The first one I would say is that natural hair is difficult to manage. And that goes back to our culture. Now, if you cast your mind back, you'll see that when we were much younger, we looked forward to being a teenage girl so that we can perm our hair. Why? Because our parents found it so difficult to manage, or made us appreciate our natural hair. It was, let's say, more of ignorance, and so we grew up not knowing anything about our natural hair. So what you don't know or understand will definitely be difficult. So that's a major misconception. If you understand your natural hair right from childhood, then it becomes easy to manage. So natural hair isn't difficult. It just takes you time to understand it.
I'm sure some people will not agree with you on that. And I remember what we used to go through growing up, especially when we had to make our hair every week. And there weren't so many posh salons.
There weren't.
One mama that would put us like
Use
there
the 2 legs,
and hold us. So it wasn't such a pretty experience for us.
Definitely.
And I went to a secondary school that perm there wasn't allowed. If you perm your hair, they'll cut it. But I remember that sometimes they would put a relaxer,
Yes.
and then put all sorts of concoction, detergent, powder, things that would maybe deperm the hair. If there's anything like that. So I can really relate with you. But apart from that misconception, are there other misconceptions about hair?
Yes.
Hair etiquette?
So I would say gender. So let's just go back a couple of years. You would say in Nigeria now, you would say boys must have low cut. And a boy will be identified as a boy with low cut. While a girl must grow her hair. But if you look at it now, you have girls, beautiful girls with low cut, some even bald. And you have men with huge afros or woven hair. So I would say for gender, there's some misconception. And this misconception, when you understand it, you are able to relate better with people. When you have that knowledge, you're not looking at a guy with woven hair like, this is weird, or asking questions that are out of place. So that is a misconception.
Okay. So while I think this is coming to stay, because many years ago we would be warned not to move with boys with big hair, with woven hair.
Yeah.
But I think things are changing.
Yes.
So I totally agree with you that that's one hair etiquette misconception. Any others?
Yes, religion. For example, Muslims, you have women that use the hijab. You have to understand that it's part of their culture and part of their religion. So you can't walk up to a woman and say, why is your hair? Your hair is fine now. Release it. Let it be free. You can't do that. So it's a misconception. You have to understand. And also for some Christians, they believe in natural hair. Any attachment or weave-on has spiritual connotations because they believe that you've taken hair from another human being and attached it to your hair. That is not true. It's a misconception. Wigs, weave-on are protective styles for natural hair, just to keep your hair at bay, and you can use your wig. So that is a misconception.
And I think I can relate to what you're saying. Really, I think I can relate with it. So we've talked about gender, we've talked about religion, we've talked about the texture of the hair itself.
Yes.
Any other misconceptions?
Yes, there's another misconception. One product, most people believe that one product fits all types of hair textures, and that is absolutely wrong.
Tell me about it.
Okay, now, with permed hair, your hair is straightened, so it looks the same. But with natural hair, the curl pattern of everybody differs.
Okay.
And the curl pattern on your hair is different. So you might have, like my hair now, I have tight curls at the back and looser curls in front. And that's just me. Some people have 2-3 patterns on their hair. With that, it means that you have to tailor a product for your hair. And the only way you can do that is through practice. You buy a product, you use it, you watch how does it affect your hair. Does it help with moisture retention? Does it help to keep your hair healthy? Before you know that, okay, that product works for you. So it's not just one product. If it works for me, it may not work for you.
Okay. Absolutely. Thank you. So why is it important to consider hair etiquette in the professional setting?
Thank you. Now, when you're in a professional setting, you're hired for what? The value you bring to the table, your skill set, right? You shouldn't be known for the hair you're coming in the morning.
Okay.
So that means that, first of all, you must understand the culture and practices of the office place, of the setting. So, number one, your hair must be neat. Whatever style you're done in, is it braids, is it weave-on, is it locks, you make sure it is neat, well kept, so it doesn't have an awful odor. You make sure it's packed properly, professionally, so that you're seen for what you can deliver, and not as if you're outside of the norm, and then people are just focused on the hair and not what you're saying or delivering on the job.
And you're absolutely right, absolutely correct with that, because I've realized that people don't know that their hair has an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And
Totally
because
agree.
people see us before they hear us.
Exactly.
And sometimes when we're not well put together, they judge us.
Yes.
I remember someone once said that I couldn't trust her because she had a zany hairstyle on, and I just feel she doesn't look like a professional. I don't think she can do the job. So that's one lesson for us, that we've got to pay attention to our hair. Sometimes we have so much to deliver, but your hair can be standing in your way.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for saying that. So let's talk about hair care. First of all, let me ask, is it right for you to walk up to a lady and ask, is that your hair? Because I'm tempted to ask, Miss Biola, is this your hair?
Yes, this is all me.
Wow.
Yes, and then I'm done in micro locks. I'll be 3 years next month.
Wow.
And it's all my natural hair. Wow. So the thing is, we're in a society where you apply etiquette and you apply every other form of etiquette. Mm-hmm. So you approach someone, the first thing you do is you admire.
Okay.
That's why you even want to ask if it's their hair or you want to touch. Because there's the issue of don't touch.
Yeah.
We'll delve into that as well. So the hair looks so unique and it's beautiful. You can walk up to this person, smile and admire, compliment, develop a short rapport. So if you just meet with someone and the first thing you want to do is, can I touch your hair? That is rude. Because the person doesn't know you. Okay. So there must be some form of a compliment that you're giving the person, a rapport, a warm rapport. And then you can say, oh, I love your hair. Is it yours? Where did you get it? How did you style it? Or what do you use to maintain it? And then the person will obviously say, yeah, you can touch it.
Yeah. So let's talk about hair care and maintenance, right? What are some basic hair care tips that everyone should follow? And we have a mixed audience, and we're not just talking to the females today.
True.
I have some fans that are men. So let's know some basic hair care maintenance.
Okay, so now this applies to everyone. Okay. Whether you're natural or you're not. Whether you're done in a wig or you're not. The first thing is you have to keep your hair clean. Right. It should not smell. That is just a no-no. Okay. So how do you do that? You find out your routine. If you have an active lifestyle, you run, you jog, so you may need to wash your hair more often. It can be
so you sweat in the scalp too?
Oh, definitely. Okay. Oh, definitely. And then there's also product build-up in the scalp. Okay. When that happens, you can develop itchy scalp or dandruff, so you have to wash your hair. Now, the washing of hair is dependent on the type of style you're done in. So, for example, if you have loose natural hair, so loose natural is like an afro or a twist, you can wash your hair maybe 2-3 days, or once a week, or once in 2 weeks. Okay. But if you have like braids, that may be a bit difficult. Because it's it's woven tightly. Yes. So you can wash maybe once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks.
How do you wash braids?
Oh no, it's your scalp.
Okay.
So what you're particular about is the scalp, not the strands, because it's just attachment that is there. So you're putting the shampoo into your scalp, creating a lather into it using your fingers. Yeah, so you're using your fingers to loosen up the dirt in the scalp. And then you rinse out with a rinse out conditioner.
In the process of rinsing, you're rinsing out everything, including the extension.
Yes,
So aren't there some extension that shouldn't get into water?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because most extensions, if you notice, after they weave it, they put it in hot water. Yeah. So, but the thing is, most people don't wash their hair when they braid. So they will carry braids for 6 weeks, without washing. And that's when you see, when you scratch your scalp, there's so much dirt and smell. Yes. So that's a complete no-no. Then also there's a daytime routine. There's also a nighttime routine.
Tell me about it.
So at night, so for example, you washed your hair. You've applied conditioner, butters, oils, and all these expensive products into your hair. You shouldn't sleep on a cotton pillowcase, but most people don't know. When you sleep on a cotton pillowcase, you have friction on your hair, which causes hair breakage. Your hair gets rougher overnight because you turn. And then the cotton material absorbs the moisture and all the juicy products that you've put in your hair. So you should use a satin pillowcase or a satin hair bonnet. That's why you notice when you watch Black American movies, you see the women in the night, they tie their hair up in a satin silk or a silk scarf. So it's to keep the hair in place and also all the products in the hair. So those are maintenance, styles and practices that you need to maintain.
So it's instructive that we female folks especially should sleep in with hair bonnets.
Yes.
Okay, I get that.
So the thing is, but some people say with the bonnet, it doesn't stay when I sleep, it falls off or it's too tight. So that's where the satin pillowcase comes in. Like I personally, I use a satin pillowcase because it's there.
You should. I mean, your hair is everyone's dream.
Thank you.
All right. So how can individuals with different hair types maintain healthy hair? For instance, my hair has never been full. I don't, and I often ask if I can ever achieve full hair because I don't think everyone is born with full. I think it's genetic.
Yes.
My hair isn't full. It's not breaking, but it's not full. I feel it's so unfair when I go to the salon and they're collecting the same amount they collect from you, from me, because my hair isn't full. But I'd like to know, I mean, hair care should be, I think you've mentioned it already, hair care should be directly in line with hair type.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And that can only be known through you studying your hair and finding out what works for you in terms of products, how often you should use it, and what products you should apply to your hair. But just to go back a few steps where you mentioned your hair has never been full, I agree with you that genetics plays a huge role in how dense your hair can be. There's something called hair density. So hair density is like the quantity of hair strand in your scalp. So even if you apply the most expensive product on your hair, the pores on your hair where the hair strand comes out, you can't create extra pores. So it can only get as full as it can get. So the aim shouldn't be in fuller hair. The aim should be in healthy hair. Yes, so some people have healthy hair, but it's just thin. Thin not because they are not caring for the hair, but that is how their natural hair is. So you should go more with healthy rather than length or fullness. Yes, exactly.
I see. Thank you. So we could go back to that question. There's dense hair, there's light hair. Are there products that basic products that everyone should use, whether it's dense or light?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for that. So let me just walk you through a few simple steps on hair care. So the first thing you should think about is a shampoo. Clarifying shampoo. Clarifying means it will clean up and leave your scalp squeaky clean. Right? And then you should now think of a rinse out conditioner.
So hold on. So how do you recognize a clarifying shampoo?
Okay, so it's usually in the bottle. So you have shampoo, you also have clarifying shampoo. And most times for, let's say our country here, black soap. Black soap is a clarifying element. So black soap shampoos are clarifying. But you also have other foreign shampoos that are clarifying, but it's written in the bottle. Yes,
I never paid attention to that.
So it just means it's exactly. So it means it's deep cleansing. That's what clarifying means. It's deep cleansing, because you need to wash off the oils and sweat in your scalp. So that's what that shampoo does. So once you've done that, then you bring out the rinse out conditioner. So there are 3 conditioners you need to pay attention to.
Oh, I see.
The rinse out conditioner, the leave-in conditioner, and the deep conditioner.
Okay, I hope you took note of that. So we have, and you must have all the 3.
Yes. So I'll walk you through it.
There's the leave-in.
Yes.
And then there's the deep
conditioner.
And
a lot of times, when I discuss with customers, they leave out 1 or 2, and that is always a problem. So when you use the rinse out conditioner, put the conditioner on your hair, leave it for maybe 5 minutes or so, you rinse it out. That's why it's called rinse out conditioner. You rinse it out. What it does is it's adding cholesterol, proteins to your hair and some oil, because the clarifying shampoo has stripped out all the oils and products, debris in your hair, but also the oils, your natural oils. So it has left your scalp dry. Yes. Then you put in the rinsing. So the rinse out conditioner now starts bringing back the cholesterol, the proteins back into your hair.
Okay.
Then you rinse it out. You're rinsing out with just water, not with shampoo.
Okay.
So when you finish with that, you now pat dry, and then you now deep condition your hair. So deep conditioner is a thicker product.
Okay.
So you put it on your hair, scalp to the strand, and then you now sit with a heat cap, or you just tie a nylon or a shower cap and leave it for about 45 minutes.
Wow.
So it's deeply penetrating. That's what strengthens your hair, reduces all this hair breakage or your hair snapping. You know, you're combing your hair, I see so much strands on your comb. That's where the deep conditioner comes in. Then you rinse out just with water, not shampoo. You pat dry again, and you pat dry with an old t-shirt, cotton t-shirt, not with a towel.
Not with a towel.
Yes,
because the towel is too harsh
for the hair, and start stripping off the hair.
I see.
So you now add your hair growth oil, your leave-in conditioner to your hair from scalp to strand, and then you can now seal it with a butter, any hair butter. And then you style.
That's a whole routine on its own.
Now it looks difficult, it looks tedious. I'm sure some people that are taking notes will be like, this thing is getting longer. But I'm telling you, if you ask a typical lady or man, what are the things you apply after having your bath? They'll tell you the creams they apply, the one they apply to their hands is different from the one they use on their feet. Or the makeup. A woman's makeup bag has so much. But you see, we've looked at it that the hair is just difficult to understand. But it's simple. And it becomes a routine because you do it every day. So you just plan it.
No,
because
that can't be every day.
You know, like the
what you said now, because
it's not every day. You can't wash your hair every day. But the deep conditioner actually should be like once in 2 weeks, or it can be once in a month, depending on your hair needs. So the deep conditioning is not as often as you wash your hair. So I can deep condition, for example, once a month. But I'm washing every 2 weeks.
Oh, I see.
So it's not every day.
Yeah,
but once you do it,
it looks like 45 minutes. You said.
But you see, once it's planned, that 45 minutes, you can be baking, you can be cooking. Don't forget your hair is all tied up, so you don't have to just be stationary. Yeah, you can be reading, you can be watching TV. Yeah, you can make it a nice experience.
For you.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, is it possible to discuss the importance of using the right products for different hair types? You mentioned that already, but do you want to reiterate it? For instance, we're paying a lot of attention to the natural hair.
Yes.
This routine that you told us about, can it also apply to
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Oh, I see.
As long as it's your hair.
The men, because I live with one, and I know that all he does is just pick the same soap and use the same soap. Well, that suffices, because I think it's going to the barbing salon to have a haircut every other week. So
I
don't really need any.
For men, I would say you can use your wife's shampoo now. They don't have to buy a different shampoo. Yeah, but it's actually ideal to use a shampoo than just using a bar soap, because a bar soap is just stripping your hair of all the oils.
I see.
But if you even use a bar soap, you should also use, like I said, the rinse out conditioner. Yes, and then they can use the hair growth oil or a butter, hair butter. So it shines. You know, there's sometimes I've seen some men they're sporting very low cuts, and I see their scalp is dry. It's dry because they're not adding anything. They just wash it with soap and move. No, you have to be more deliberate. Petroleum jelly. Yes. And petroleum jelly just seals the pores.
I see.
So you have to be men to, and also their beard too. Deliberate, using hair growth oil for it, pampering it, and using butters too. It helps.
I'm sure there are some men watching now and are thinking, what's she saying? But and I think this is instructive. I'm going to tell my husband as well that, okay, so my shampoo and my conditioner, the Real conditioner is it, so why don't you use it?
Exactly.
Let's see if something will change about your hair. All right. So what hairstyles are, and I'd like us to just go into styling and presentation of the hair before we go deeply into how we undo one another's hair. What hairstyles are considered appropriate for formal occasions in Nigeria?
I would say typically most hairstyles.
Okay.
But it must just be neat. You know, a formal occasion, when you don your hair, it must be neat, it mustn't smell, must be styled properly. It must be a style that doesn't obstruct. For example, it's not covering half of your eye, or so it can be any style.
Okay.
Also, something popped into my mind when you were talking. Your hairstyle should suit your lifestyle. Yes, and that's why a lot of ladies can't go natural, and I totally understand, because they don't have the time. It takes time. It really does. It takes time to take care of your natural hair, and so your hair should suit your lifestyle. When I started a couple of years ago, I was always doing twist out with my hair, but after a while, I realized I didn't have that time, because it was every like 2 or 3 weeks I had to go to the salon. Even going to the salon for me was bothersome, and that was why I decided to lock my hair. So I changed my hairstyle to suit my lifestyle. And lucky for me, the locking is done at home. It's an at-home service, so I don't need to go to the salon.
Okay, so how often do you relock?
Every 6 weeks.
Oh,
and they come to the house, and it's scheduled.
Okay.
So it works perfectly for me. But for some other people, they may say, I may not want to go the lock way because I'll have probably the same look. I've had people say that they have the same look. So that doesn't work for you. That's fine.
Okay.
Find what works for you.
Okay.
Be confident about it. Take care of it. Take care of that hair that God has blessed you with. And flourish.
Absolutely. I'd want us to bring it to the workplace, because I know that it's not every style that fits the workplace.
Yeah.
And I stand to be corrected, but because I work with corporate organizations,
Yes.
I know that for instance, using unnatural hair dye colors, it's not allowed. I would say that don't do the zany hairstyles, like the water curls that are really so big. Let your hair be sleek, let it be off your face.
Yes.
Let it be styled neatly.
Yes.
Let it not smell. Let it not stand in your way. So I just needed to reiterate that.
Yes, I agree.
How can someone choose a hairstyle that reflects their personality while adhering to social norms?
So it's about knowing yourself.
Okay.
You know, just like the story I gave about when we were young, you know, our hair was permed. So we never knew anything about ourselves or understood our hair. So as you're growing and learning more about the shape of your face, how your eyebrows should be curved, you know, what colors suit your skin tone, is the same way you're observing what type of hairstyles works for you. Like for me, my type of face, I notice slant parting works better than a center part.
Yes.
So I notice when I pack my hair up, I have this oblong look with this that is chic, you know. So you have to observe, you know what works for you. Just the same way you know the type of food you enjoy and like, is the same way you apply that with your hair. Observing it, trying it out, looking in the mirror, taking a picture, looking at it. Okay, this works, this doesn't work. Some people even style their hair with what they are wearing. They have certain hairstyles for certain looks. Some even with wigs. Okay, if they're wearing a bob, then it's corporate. If they want the hair to flow, it's native. So it depends. You have to research and see what works for you.
Absolutely. I mean, I was going to tell you, can you advise us what style to rock for your face structure, the shape of your face? But I think I like the answer you already gave, and so I won't take us there, because that's a topic for another day. What works for you?
Exactly.
What's that thing that you wear and people say your hair is lovely, you look good?
Exactly.
What's that picture that you take and you're like, I look different here? That's the style for you.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. So what advice do you have for people transitioning between different hair types? You know, for instance, if you've rocked, and I see some people are becoming more aware of the natural hair.
Yeah.
So if you've had a permed hair for a long time and you want to transition into natural hair, what advice do you have for them?
I would say welcome to the natural hair community, but I also say, do your research.
Okay.
You have to learn, relearn, and unlearn a lot of things. It's a different journey. That's why they call it the natural hair journey. Yeah. So let's just say you're starting afresh to know and understand your hair. So you have to be patient, and it really takes time because the natural hair doesn't grow as fast. Because it shrinks a lot. You deal with shrinkage, small water touches it, everything just compacts. So you have to love it. You have to be confident. So as you're spotting your natural hair, wear your makeup, or if you're not wearing your makeup, use your jewelry. If you're not using your jewelry, be confident and love your own hair. I realized that women that are unique and look beautiful in their natural hair, they already know their hair is beautiful. When I have genetically white hair, and I got it from my mom, and when I started having white hair, I was quite young. A lot of people come and meet me, where did you get this white hair from? You are not in your 50s, you are not in your 60s. And I started embracing it early, and people will come and meet me to ask, did you dye your hair? Like, it's so striking because I carry it. It's part of me. So I'm not going to hide it. I'm going to love it and embrace it. And you find out that as you do that, people love it and embrace it as well.
Absolutely. And for people that the natural hair is not your thing,
embrace it. Wear your wigs. Let your wigs be clean, be neat, but keep your hair healthy underneath. Still wash it, still condition it so it's healthy and it's not breaking. A lot of women use wigs without wig cap, and that's a grave mistake. Why? Because when you use your wig, it rubs off on your edges, and when it does that, it creates a line. That line, there's friction, there's dryness, and the hair breaks off. Some women are unlucky, the hair doesn't even grow again. But for it to grow, you need to apply some products, hair growth oil, moisturize it. But when you do all that, you need to put that wig cap. It protects your natural hair, and then you use the wig and work confidently.
Must you adorn an expensive wig? I was in class one day and I was with executives, and I was just, I just said it jokingly that your hair doesn't, we're talking about grooming, it doesn't have to be expensive. Yes. You don't have to kill to get something. And the snide remark I got was that, we can know the kind of hair you're wearing from a mile away. And in my mind I felt, oh dear. But really, maybe that would lead us to the next segment where we want to talk about social interactions and respect. What are some respectful ways to compliment someone's hairstyle without crossing boundaries? I remember that when I first started recording for Manners on the Go, I didn't care so much about hair, so I just thought, and then I got some remarks. In fact, someone called me and said, your programs are nice, so I think I want to, can you come and start renting wigs from me? I felt so, but at some point I told myself, Tosin, you're beautiful, you're not your hair.
Exactly.
So this is a conversation that we must have. Yeah. How do you make people feel good? How do you compliment people without crossing the boundary?
Okay, so I think, first of all, you have to find out what is striking about the person's hair. So, for example, looking at your beautiful wig is the curls. I like the way the curls are tightly, tightly curled. So you compliment that. Oh, I love it. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
See, you already... So a compliment is good. Yes. Now, when you start crossing boundaries, it's like saying, oh, where did you buy it? How much did you buy it?
Yes.
I don't know you like that. If the person is your person, then you can go that far. But you're just meeting the person at an engagement and you're asking that question. I think you're crossing boundaries there. That's a bit too much. So keep it with the compliment, and then see where the conversation takes you. Sometimes you see someone and you connect with the person, and the first thing you do is you admire the person's hair, and the conversation just moves to family, school, so many other things, and then you know that, okay, the conversation you can go there. with the conversation because there's a connection.
Yeah, and the way you ask matters. It's not how much
Exactly.
is it. It's, can you plug me to your
Exactly,
hair?
to the
Yeah.
vendor, your hair vendor.
It will make
Exactly.
me feel good that, oh, the hair must really be good.
Exactly.
But you know, by the time you start asking how much it is,
like you're trying to.
Yeah, I think it's crossing boundaries.
Yes.
I feel like you need to be so tight.
Yes,
For
with
you to
that
ask
person.
her. And it might not be a now and here kind of question. It could be later on. Oh, that hair that you wore on, I really like it. Can you plug me to the source?
Yes.
What's the cost? I hope it's not too expensive. But not there and then.
Then, exactly.
Not there and then. Are there other respectful ways to compliment people without crossing boundaries?
Yeah, I think it's better to err on the side of caution. Don't say too much. But you can ask. Like, for example, I remember when I went shopping for electronics and the ladies were just in awe of my hair. Oh, your hair is nice. What is it called? Told them, oh, how do you maintain it? I explained, and they were like, wow, this is really nice. How many hours does it take? I was like, I told them. But they now said something like, okay, when you first installed it, how long did it take? So I said, okay, the first installation takes long, like 8 hours. They said, so you sat down for that long. So in my mind, I was like, okay, this is becoming something else. So there should be like, if you can't compliment, rather than show pain or show like that kind of feeling, it's better not to just go there.
Okay.
So just asking simple questions and leave it. You can also research. Once the person tells you, oh, this is microlocks, you can do your research.
Exactly.
Yeah, do your research.
Good so much. So still on this topic, how should you approach someone if they want to ask about hair routine and styling tips? Is there a way to approach people? I mean, you've said it. People just come and say this. What are the right questions to ask? What's the way to approach?
Okay, so that's a good question. So first of all, why you want to ask the person is because you admire. So you start with a compliment. And then you can also share, to connect. You can share your challenges immediately. So you've admired the person's hair and you can say, but do you know, for me, I have a challenge. I don't know how to maintain my hair. I see your hair is healthy. How do you do it? What products do you use? Women were good with sharing. We're good with sharing. We will share. We'll share. We won't hoard products. We won't hoard products. We'll share what we use, and then you can go further to say, okay, how often do you apply it? And you can use that to start with your journey. It may not work. I said, what works for me may not work for you, but at least it's a start.
Yes. So what should people avoid saying or doing regarding others' hairstyles to maintain respect and decorum?
Anything you don't understand, just be quiet.
Okay.
So I mentioned that for gender now, you have men that are weaving their hair. So instead of saying, why are you weaving your hair? That shows no etiquette on your part. You don't understand and you're still speaking about it. So if you can't compliment and say, oh, this is unique, then just look and look away. You have women that shave the side and it's so beautiful. They'll shave the two sides and leave hair. I love it when I see it. Rather than saying why, you're asking them why. They don't know you.
You don't know.
You're like a social misfit. Yes, judging and asking the wrong questions. They don't owe you anything. So anything you don't understand, just look and say, wow, okay, interesting. You don't even have to say anything to the person. So you need to be cautious about how you relate with people when they're donning a hairstyle that you don't understand.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So how have perceptions of hair etiquette changed over the years in Nigeria and maybe globally? We began by saying, what are those misconceptions?
Yes.
So how have perceptions of hair etiquette changed over the years?
I think let me start with globally. I remember being young and traveling with my dad abroad, and the foreign children. They were so confused by my hair. That why is my hair spongy? You know, why does it look so curly? And it's not like theirs that is straight. You know, and so they'll, you know, be trying to touch it and all that. And I was just, you know, confused myself as a child. But now, you know, gradually abroad, especially in the workplace, you find African American women, Nigerians, Africans donning wigs because they want to conform with societal norms over there. Because if they have their natural hair out, they have to be explaining to their colleagues.
Exactly.
They'll be poking at them, oh, is this your hair? You know, they just want to focus on work. But now you find that even abroad, bills are coming out, policies are coming out where they are saying you can don your natural hair.
Exactly.
You even say a lot of African newscasters, they must use a wig. They can't have their natural hair out. But now it's changing. That acceptance has come in. So I can say, you know, it's a gradual process, but with growth, enlightenment, and development, we'll get there.
Thank you so much, Miss Biola. And there's another question that I noted here. What current trends in hairstyling do you think will influence future hair etiquette? And I know that men were going gaga these days with our hair.
Honestly, I think, you know, if you notice, there's this wave, especially for guys now, they're twisting their hair, locking it, you know, you see beautiful hairdos on men, you know, that's coming in. Then micro locks too, you know, it's a different type of dreads. Even the traditional dreads is becoming more popular. And then even dreads, you know, you have children that are born with dreads. Over in the past, it was seen as spiritual, having a spiritual connotation. You know, the dreads will be rough, but now, if you see how parents are adorning those natural dreads into something so beautiful. So I think, you know, with education, with resources being available, with social media, being a global village now, you know, there's more enlightenment and growth.
Thank you so much. We're finally bringing this to a close, Miss Biola. But before you go, because I know that you produce hair products, and because this is not paid advertisement, we're not going to ask you to tell us what they are. But what are those, and just back to hair care, and just for viewers that may want to know that these are some things that I must have on my hair care shelf, especially the natural. I assume that the natural products, all natural products. So can you mention the raw materials, if I must say, things that are good for your hair? I know, for instance, that you talked about shea butter.
Yes.
And we're so blessed to shea butter in Nigeria.
Yeah. So.
And I know some people use rice water.
Yeah, rice water too is good.
Do you break an egg on your hair?
so for the egg, is like, instead of that's for deep conditioning.
Okay.
So instead of buying the jar
at
the supermarket or in the store, some people prefer to make their own mayonnaise, hair mayonnaise. So they'll mix the egg and then mix it with mayonnaise, and then you can put some herbs and oils and then apply it. Yes, rather than buying the product. But I prefer the product rather than the raw, but it depends on you. Also, oils are so important for the hair. You also need to find out which oils. So for example, coconut oil is beautiful for natural hair, but for some people, it makes them itch. It dries out their hair. So you have a wide variety of oils. You know, I always mention about testing, seeing how it works on your hair, and then running with it. So that's why I mentioned hair growth oil. Hair growth oil has a mixture of intense oils, castor oil, black seed oils, all mixed together, vitamin E, which is good for the hair. So you just apply it. So that's good to have. Shampoo, so important. Clarifying shampoo. Yes. Leave-in conditioner, rinse out conditioner, and deep conditioner.
So
very
we've got
important.
a lot of spending to do. What final tips would you give viewers about embracing the unique hair while respecting cultural norms?
I would say, first of all, love yourself.
Okay.
So don't try and change your hair, don't try and change yourself. You can use protective styles, use a wig, braid your hair, but love the hair that grows on your scalp. And when I mean love it, take care of it. Maintain it, treat it right, and it will treat you right as well. Also appreciate other people's hair. If you have full hair and you see someone with thin hair, don't put the person down. It might just be genetics. Or you can advise the person on the products that work for you and see if that would also help the person out.
Absolutely.
But you must be respectful of societal norms, rules, and practices.
Thank you so much. So are there some resources that we should, that you'd recommend for us to, and I mean, the world, the internet is right there.
Exactly.
I mean, it would just take us searching.
Yeah.
For...
But what I would say is if you have some hair issues, for example, dandruff, and it's resilient, it has refused to go, you've tried different hair products, it's not working, what I advise you to do, rather than stay silent and in pain, see a trichologist. So trichologists are people that have been trained to, to go into your scalp and run tests and tell you exactly, exactly what is happening and give you products that would work.
Are you trained to do that?
No, I'm not, but I have them as friends.
Okay. Thank you so much. So can we summarize what we've heard today? What I'm taking away from this, and it's been very instructive, Miss Biola, I must say thank you to you. I've got to love my hair.
Yes.
Thin or not thin, I've got to love it. I've got to be proud of it. And when I decide I don't even want to rock my natural hair, I've got to love what I have on. I mean, I mustn't lose confidence in my hair. And I must understand that it's not one hairstyle fits every place.
Exactly.
There's some places, especially in the workplace, where I've got to be quite conservative with my hairstyle. People dye hair.
Yes.
But I feel that for the workplace, it should be natural hair colors. So you don't want to do the zany, green, purple wine to the workplace. Well, except you're creative.
That's what I wanted to say.
Except you're creative, but in a corporate Nigeria, I'd advise that you just stick with the natural hair colors.
It's safer.
And then we've learned how to approach people.
Yes, very important. To be
We're talking about
respectful.
social interaction. Be respectful. Don't ask intrusive questions.
Yes.
You've got to be mannerly in the way you ask questions about hair. Any last thoughts?
I would say anybody that's thinking of going natural, it's the best thing ever.
Okay.
And then also be ready to learn, be ready to unlearn, and be ready to relearn when it comes to hair.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And that's all we have for you today, everyone. Thank you for joining us and see you again. Goodbye.
Manners on the go.